Hello class. Today I'll be doing my presentation. These are my audience members, my brother, my grandma, and my mom. They'll take a seat and then we can start with the speech. As a math tutor and financing student, there are 3 questions I'm commonly asked. Why math? Why should I care about math? How does math impact my life? And when you think about these questions, it's not immediately obvious because I think the answer is different for all of us, right? Depending on what you do in life, where you're at, what you want to be. So I want to pose these questions to you to see how math matters to you. Whether that be, why do I care about prices? Why do I care about decision making? Why do I care about forecasting? And when you consider these questions, you start to see why math matters. But what you might not know is our generation is not interested in math, which is creating labor issues in our economy, which leads to what I'll be talking about today. The problem is that our generation is not interested in math. The reason this is a problem is because math develops a critical and creative thinking mindset that can be applied in any career or job. Also, forecasting techniques are developed using math. You wouldn't want to end up like this guy in the picture in the middle of a blizzard. So now you're wondering, okay, math is important, but how do we get people interested? How do we get people in the door without force? Well, you see, we need to change our culture. We need to change the way people view math. Additionally, we need to change the way it is taught in schools. That being said, let's talk about the problem. Think about some of the highest paying jobs you can think of. Accountants, business owners, forecasters. These people all play important roles in our lives, and they have skills that are irreplaceable by many. That's why they get paid so much. You can't easily go and find a Bill Gates wherever you're looking, right? So ultimately, we need to start noticing that math is important, but our generation either is afraid or doesn't see the importance of math. So let's look into why math is important, starting with the mindset, okay? Math is a creative and critical thinking mindset. As David Friedman from the Los Angeles Times puts it, there was a 21 country survey where they were observing math and science skills. Public officials concluded as a result that our generation is ill prepared to make decisions in a mathematical, scientific, and technological world. Okay? To put it short, math essentially allows us to take into consideration many factors and come to well thought out conclusions. In order for us to succeed, no matter what career we're in, we need to have that mindset, which is why everyone should have a foundational understanding of math. Similarly, forecasts are made using math skills. In Managing the Supply Chain by M. Swink, they use this model to display how inventory is managed in a business. The peaks of these are the economic order quantity, the amount of inventory that's needed to minimize cost and meet demand. Then as things are sold, we reach the reorder point. This point is essentially where we have enough inventory to meet demand until we can reorder up to this point, right? But the reason this is important is because I can see 2 results happening if we do not have this. The first is that shelves are empty. We under-ordered. We didn't meet demand. What happens? We go out of business because people stop being interested in our product if it's not on shelves. Similarly, if we bought too much, then we'd have way too high of prices because we can't spend more and expect to make a profit without increasing prices. These 2 aspects of forecasting affect all of our lives. Other forecasts that affect our lives are weather forecasts, sales forecasts, energy forecasts, and land use forecasts, amongst many others. So we need people to start filling those roles. But how are we going to get people to fill those roles without using force, right? We don't want to say, go do it. You know what I mean? So ultimately, we have to start changing our culture. Our current culture, according to Sion Bullock from Harvard Business Review, essentially he found out that 50% of first and second grade students have moderate or extreme math anxiety. Then in four-year college students, 25% of those students have math anxiety. Furthermore, 11% of those students have anxiety severe enough to warrant counseling. Yeah. So ultimately, we need to start changing the culture by changing the way we talk about math every single day. Furthermore, we need to influence the media to stop portraying math in such a negative light. Similarly, we need to change the way math is taught. According to Mind Research Institute, the current teaching environment emphasizes testing, calculation, and memorization. We need to change that, like the image on the left. We want to start doing curriculums like Mind Research Institute does, where they do fun, engaging activities to foster a love for learning. Kind of like the environment you see on the right. So I want to ask you the question. Would you rather be in this environment or this one?
The happy one.
Exactly. So that's why we need to start being more selective with our learning curriculums to make change. So now let's visualize the future. What if we started making just better decisions when it came to math? What if we started teaching better? What if we changed we could change the way the future generations operate forever? So if you want to be the generation that makes a change that is seen across the future, I want to start now. So here's what we can do. Ultimately, it starts with each and every one of us changing the way we talk about math in our every single day lives. Furthermore, we need to influence the media to stop displaying math in a negative light. Lastly, we need to be selective with learning curriculums so that the curriculums of the past move toward the future. I know I've talked about a lot of things, so let's go back and summarize. The problem is that people are not interested in math. This is important because math develops a mindset that is used across every single career. Furthermore, math is important for forecasting and many other jobs that are of high value. The way we do this is by changing our culture and changing the way math is taught. But it starts with each and every one of us changing the way we talk about math in our everyday lives, and together we could be a generation of the future. With that being said, the one thing I want you to take away is that next time you are asked the question, why math? I want you to answer it with confidence. I want you to understand that math is important for each and every one of us, to get rid of math anxiety. So let's change the world one answer at a time. Here are some of my sources, and now I will open it for questions. Do we have any questions?
That was pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good.
Do we have any questions?
No.
No, thank
Thank
No
you.
questions?
No,
Of course.
thank you. That's awesome.
Thank you.
I loved it.